Introducing Food Savers, giving your hunger a new course of action. This is our project for the Uniglobe Hackathon, Food Savers. Now let's introduce you guys to the presenters. First, we have myself, Akarsh Jain.
My name is Gaurav Talani.
My name is Abik Malik.
And I'm Aditya Korlahari.
So here we have the table of contents. As you can see, we have a plethora of things to get through. We have the elevator pitch throughout and through who will benefit the most from extra food saved. So let's get through it.
So there are a lot of restaurants that waste a lot of food every day, and most of the food is consumable. So this food can be donated to food banks instead of being thrown away. Our website allows volunteers from these food shelters come to the restaurant/events and drop off the food at an assigned time.
So let's start off with the problem that we're trying to solve with our website. Around 25,000 to 75,000 pounds of food are thrown away in restaurants all around the globe. This is a major problem as people struggle to get meals every day. All of the excess food that is not eaten or sold from these restaurants can be used to free people in need. As I was saying, these restaurants are throwing away food that no one's touched. They've pre-cooked this food, and since no one has bought it, no one has touched it at all, but they are forced to throw it away. But instead, we're suggesting that with our website, it'll be convenient for them to ship it off to a food bank rather than to just dispose of it. So here's the solution to this. Our project optimizes the way that food shelters receive food in order to feed people in need. It allows volunteers to seamlessly deliver food from a restaurant to food shelters. It efficiently schedules times for volunteers to do these tasks based on the needs of based on the needs of the timings of volunteers and the restaurant. Whenever they're free, they can choose their times, and our algorithm will find one that corroborates. Our project can calculate how many people the restaurant's excess food can feed as well. The project can also reduce the food waste that is dispensed throughout the world.
Our algorithm. Our algorithm will take information from restaurants/events like their name, how many calories their food contains, and how much of each food they have, and displays it into an easy-to-read chart. From this, the code calculates the amount of people that can be fed. It does this by multiplying the calories of the food and the amount of each food they have, and dividing it by 2,000, which is about how many calories an average person eats a day. In addition, our algorithm takes what time the food is available for pickup. As you can see in this chart, you can see that it displays a restaurant/event name, the calories, the amount of food, and the people fed, and as well as the time available, all into an easy-to-read chart.
Why is our website unique? Our website is unique because we designed a way for volunteers to drop off food to shelters in exchange for service hours. We can make it efficient for restaurants to provide food to many different shelters.
How do Americans waste so much food? More than 80% of Americans discard perfectly good consumable food because they misunderstood expiration labels. Labels like sell by, use by, and expires on confuse people. In an effort to not risk the potential of a foodborne illness, they'll just toss it in the garbage. People are often impulsive in their food purchases, and they tend to buy more food than they need. USDA and EPA created the food recovery hierarchy to show the most effective way to address food waste.
The environmental consequences. The water and energy that is used to produce the food is wasted. It also generates greenhouse gases, which is 7% of the world's emissions. Examples are methane and carbon dioxide, which contributes to global warming. Food that sites decaying in a landfill creates nitrogen pollution, which causes dead zones. According to the World Wildlife Federation, the production of wasted food in the US is equivalent to the greenhouse emission of 37 million cars.
So how will our website prevent food waste? This website will contact local food banks in your area who are in need of food, so restaurants and events that have leftovers which are consumable can be donated to food banks. This website will provide a form for people to sign up to deliver food from the restaurants to the food banks. The form will require a time for the delivery and the restaurant. The form will also require a specific amount of calories.
Now I'm going to be going over a few facts. 80 billion pounds of food is thrown away each year in the US, which is actually equivalent to 1,000 Empire State Buildings. Nearly 40% of the US food supply is wasted each year. 219 pounds per person is the amount of food wasted annually, while $1,600 per family is the amount thrown away each year, assuming each family has 4 members.
Can I add something onto that? So with these figures in mind, it could just go to show how much more we can feed people who are struggling. So with this idea, we can essentially get rid of a lot of these numbers by feeding people that are in need of it. So yeah.
Who will benefit from the extra food saved? Many families across the world struggle to provide food for their families. We live in a world where we produce enough food to feed everyone, but sadly, 821 million people still go to bed on an empty stomach each night. That is unacceptable. Our website will allow more of these people to have nutritious meals. This might not completely eliminate world hunger, but it is definitely a huge step in the right direction.
So here's our website. We have our logo there, Food Savers, and we have an About Us page, if you would scroll down. We have an About Us, why we started this, all that sort of stuff. And if you keep scrolling down, we have some other justifying factors as to why you should use our website and how you can prevent food waste even at your home without using the website as well. But to the restaurant, when the restaurants use the website, you can if you can scroll all the way up, all the way up, yeah. When you scroll all the way up, you have the tabs at the top. You have the About page, the food calculator, and the contact. So why don't you go ahead and click the food calculator? When restaurants go ahead and click the food calculator, they'll be greeted by this canvas, by the console over here. All you have to do is drag up the console, drag up the console, and then they'll be greeted with what the name of the restaurant is. From here, they'll enter the name. Then they'll say the amount of calories they have per box. So let's say that Krispy Kreme has maybe a couple of donuts left over, and they're all equivalent to how many calories. Just type in some random figure. Yeah. And we'll say, how many of these figures do you have? You can say like 5 of them or 7 of them. Yeah, sure. So with this figure, it was really big. So 3,500 people could be fed. But then it'll ask what time they're available for pickup so that a volunteer can look at the time and find a corroborating one that's in their schedule. So these guys will say 12, sure. They press enter. And then they can press no because they have no more food to give. They can type no, yes. And it'll generate a nice little calendar for them. And from here, volunteers may be able to sign up and get community service and make the world a better place by reducing food waste. So I hope you've enjoyed this presentation of our website, Food Saver. And yeah, any final thoughts, guys?
Yeah, so for this this code, we can also, if you were to click yes, it would repeat the entire cycle again. So another restaurant could enter in all their information, and we could have a huge list of all the restaurants with their calories and the amount of people that can be fed. And this will make it easier for the volunteers who will go out to these restaurants and deliver the food to the food bank. So it's a more organized way of getting all this information.
Anything else to add?
Thanks for watching.